Thank you, Presiding Officer. Presiding Officer, at the outset, I want to thank Monica Lennon for bringing this debate to the Chamber. And I note the motion talks about Central Scotland. I'm not going to focus my comments on Central Scotland. It's not my region, not my area. I'm going to focus my comments either on Inverclyde or about Scotland. I'd like to also remind colleagues of my register of interests as a board member of a local addiction service called Moving On Inverclyde. I want to welcome Angela Constance firstly to her new role and like to wish her well in that. It's certainly a challenging role that she has. I would also want to thank Joe Fitzpatrick for his efforts and the creation of the Drugs Deaths Task Force, which I'm sure will actually prove to be a vital addition to dealing with this crisis as we move forward. The latest figures for 2019 must be a wake-up call for every politician, but also for society. There are tough decisions that need to be taken. The souls of 1,264 people that need to force every single one of us, every single politician, to look at every policy and also every delivery model to see if it's actually doing enough. Also, 1,264 deaths need to tell us that we must look at the gaps in policy areas. That's essential for that to happen. Now, I stress to colleagues that this isn't it's not a constitutional point, because some of the gaps and some of the policy gaps might already be devolved, but some might also be reserved. But fundamentally, every policy area must be on the table for discussion. Inverclyde is sadly behind Dundee and Glasgow respectively with regards to drugs deaths. 33 of my constituents died in 2019, and that was a near 50% increase on 2018. Now that cannot continue, and looking at the three areas with the most deaths clearly highlights that social justice is a key issue as to why there are many drugs deaths in Scotland. Poverty, deprivation, unemployment, industrial decline are reasons behind the increase in many of the drugs deaths. Not all, but many. It's a fact that many more deaths are now of older drug users, and as the BBC wrote on the 15th of December, and I'll quote, during the 1980s and 90s, there was a significant increase in problem drug users in Scotland, which peaked about 20 years ago. They also continued by this. There is now an ageing population of drug addicts, mainly men, who have been using heroin for decades. We already know this, but it clearly needs to be highlighted time and time again. And I genuinely believe that if we can sort out some of the social justice inequalities, we'll actually give drug users and communities a better chance going forward. I'd like to see a few things considered to try and deal with this national crisis. First of all, Inverclyde is not included in the naloxone pilot that's underway. That currently has been utilised by Dundee, Glasgow and Falkirk. All three areas will have differing health board areas, but I genuinely think that Inverclyde should also be included because of where we currently are. Secondly, I genuinely believe that funding for third sector organisations that are more successful in helping people with drug addictions should be considered for direct funding. Thirdly, I think the increase in people going to residential detox facilities is absolutely important, and I've spoken to many people about that in the past. Fourthly, the introduction of the drug consumption facilities are something that's absolutely crucial. Both Emma Harper, MSP, and myself met with Peter Crikent outside of the Parliament only a few weeks ago, and I became even more convinced that this activity will actually help many more people and communities. And fifthly, I genuinely believe that a thorough analysis of the local ADPs is essential. I know that Inverclyde has had major change of direction over the last 18 months, and I'm hopeful that that change will actually save more lives going forward. But Presiding Officer, there are many more things I would actually want to discuss, but I know time is short, so I would be keen to discuss with the Minister directly if her diary allows that to happen. Thank you very much.